You're the kind of guy women grow with. But I want someone exciting now, she said while hooking up with her ex. So I packed my bags and left. Now he ghosted, and she's begging me to come back. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I still have the receipt from the $1,200 I dropped on Vera's artist retreat last summer. Framed it, actually. Not as some sentimental bullshit. More like a receipt for my own stupidity. You'll come with me, right? She'd asked, tracing circles on my chest. I need someone stable there. The energy has to be just right for my new collection. I went. Sat through 4 days of her pretending to understand abstract emotional landscapes, while some trust fund kid smeared house paint on a canvas and called it a commentary on late capitalism. When we got home, she hung her work above our bed. A single black line on white paper titled "The Void Between Us." I should have taken the hint. Then came the "you wouldn't get it" phase. My playlist became predictable. My 9 to 5 was cute but spiritually limiting. Our Friday takeout ritual? We're too old for this, Cole. She started coming home at 3 a.m. smelling like clove cigarettes and someone else's cologne. Dax gets my process, she'd say, flopping onto the couch without looking at me. He feels things. Not like. She never finished that sentence. Didn't need to. I came home early on a Tuesday to find her laughing in our kitchen, Dax's hand on the small of her back. He wore a beanie indoors. Of course he did. Oh, hey, Vera said, not moving his hand. We were just talking about creative evolution. How some people. She gestured at me. Well, don't. Dax smirked. Yeah man, no offense, but your aura's kinda beige. I stared at the half-finished tattoo on his arm. A blatant ripoff of a Banksy stencil. You do that yourself. It's a deconstruction of Vera. I cut him off. Just say it. She sighed, like I was making her late for something. Cole, you're just not my type anymore. Dax sees me. You're just there. I looked at the void between us painting. At the receipt on the fridge. At Dax's chipped nail polish where he'd clearly tried to scratch off someone else's initials. Okay, I said and walked out. Behind me, I heard Dax whisper, see? Zero emotional intelligence. You're better. The door cut him off. I didn't sleep that night. Not out of heartbreak. More like the grim focus of defusing a bomb. By sunrise, I'd packed. Her healing crystals, always in my way. The thrift store typewriter, she never used every fucking scented candle, left it all in a single box by the door. Neat. Efficient. The way she always pretended to be. She stumbled in at 9 a.m., Dax's leather jacket hanging off her shoulder. You're cleaning? Leaving, I said, clicking the last suitcase shut. You've got till Friday to get the rest. Her eyes flicked to the box. You didn't have to, I know. I handed her the router. Changed the Wi-Fi. It's Dax's a fraud. All caps, no spaces. This isn't some petty revenge thing, Cole. I just grew faster than you. She hugged herself like she was the victim. Dax says stagnant energy attracts. Cancer? Debt? Bad tattoos. I nodded at the fresh ink on her wrist, a crooked infinity symbol. Guess he'd know. Her face hardened. God, this is why I left. You reduce everything. Funny, I shouldered my bag. You used to call that keeping you grounded. A beat. For a second, I saw it, the flicker of doubt. Then she crossed her arms. We'll always care about each other, right? I looked at Dax's jacket. At the hickey, she didn't bother covering. At the way she stood in our home like a tourist. No, I said and left. Blocked her number in the elevator. I got blackout drunk on day 4. Not for Vera, for the habit of her. Woke up to 17 texts to my brother Mitch. 12:47 a.m. She took the fucking throw pillows 1:12 a.m. Who leaves a man with no throw pillows 1:30 a.m.? Do you think Dax knows throw pillows are a scam? Mitch showed up at noon with a 6-pack and a canvas. You're gonna paint the ugliest shit imaginable, he said. It's called art therapy. I slapped cheap acrylic on the fabric like I was punishing it. Ended up with something that looked like a crime scene. Mitch nodded. Perfect. Now burn it. I didn't. Hung it in the shower to piss off future me. The art class was an accident. Walked into the wrong community center room. Ended up elbow deep in clay while a 70-year-old named Sylvia yelled, "Feel the anger, Cole." Turns out, rage sculpting is a hell of a workout. Started going weekly. Made a bowl so lopsided it could only hold guilt. Sylvia squinted at it. You've got something. Not talent, but anger is a style now. Posted it online. Vera's old art school friends liked it within minutes. One commented, "Wait, this is Cole." Deleted the app. Bought real supplies. Met Nadia at the framing store. She was arguing with the clerk about the tyranny of right angles. "That's not a rectangle," she said, pointing to my painting. "That's a statement." I looked down at my so-called art, a messy swirl of colors I'd titled Vera's New Boyfriend's Credit Score. "It's trash," I admitted. Nadia grinned. "Yeah, but it's your trash. Paid for my framing in cash. Next one's on you." Her hands were stained with ink. No infinity symbol bullshit, just honest work. Talia texted me a screenshot 3 months later. "Talia, you seeing this shit?" A local artist's Instagram story, side-by-side comparisons of Dax's original tattoos with traced outlines from a DeviantArt account. The caption, "When your vision requires Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V." Vera had commented, "Art is about intent, not technique." The artist fired back, "Intent to commit fraud?" I zoomed in on one of Dax's designs, a wolf howling at a moon that was clearly traced from a stock image. The same wolf Vera had tattooed on her ribs 2 weeks after our breakup. I didn't reply, just saved the screenshot as wolfgate.jpg. The public meltdown by week's end. Dax's Instagram switched to private. The coffee shop that hosted his exhibit posted, "No longer affiliated." Vera's latest post, a blurry wine glass with the caption, "When the art world fears authenticity." Then came the review. Some pissed-off client tagged Vera in a Yelp rant. Dax said my tattoo would channel feminine energy. It's a misspelled quote from Pinterest, and now my dermatologist laughs at me. Vera's reply, "Maybe you weren't spiritually ready for his truth." The internet roasted her alive. Memes sprouted. Someone photoshopped Dax's face onto the traced wolf. Talia texted again. "He's charging $50 cover-ups. Cash only." I blocked her too. 2:17 a.m. Unknown number. "Vera, I saw your new paintings. You never made art like that for me." I stared at the message. Remembered how she'd mocked my lack of depth when I suggested she finish one piece before starting 3 more. Deleted it. Painted until sunrise. Phase 1. The nostalgia play. Vera, 3:42 a.m. Remember when we got stranded in the rain after that gallery opening? You gave me your jacket even though you hate being cold. I missed that version of us. I stared at the message. The gallery opening had been a laundromat pop-up where someone glued dryer sheets to a canvas and called it the static of modern love. I'd hyped her up for weeks. "Cole, scene 9:15 a.m. She replied within minutes. "Vera, I know you're not with that framing girl for real. You don't even like abstract art." Nadia, elbow deep in linseed oil across the studio, snorted without looking up. Tell her I said thanks for the free rent in her head. I screenshotted instead. Filed under Museum of Desperation. Phase 2. The accusation spiral. Vera, 11:23 p.m. Voice memo. You moved on in what, 5 months? Was I just a placeholder? Her voice was slurred. Glass clinked in the background. I played it twice. Remembered how she'd introduced Dax to our friends 3 days after our breakup. How she'd tagged him in our Spotify playlist with the caption, "Upgraded." Nadia plucked the phone from my hand and replied for me. "Cole, via Nadia 5 months, 12 days. But who's counting?" The typing bubbles appeared immediately. Disappeared. Reappeared. Finally. "Vera, Dax says you're threatened by real artists." Guess he was right. Nadia grinned. "Oh, she's mad. I muted the conversation. Blocked felt too easy. Phase 3. The bargaining. A voicemail arrived at dawn. Vera's breath hitched like she'd practiced crying. "I'll wait. You'll see. He's complicated, but we're taking space." When you realize she's just a rebound, delete. That afternoon, Talia forwarded a screenshot of Vera's private Twitter. "Why do men punish women for evolving?" Liked by Dax the Visionary. His profile pic, a fresh tattoo of a phoenix rising from flames. The bird's face was eerily similar to Shrek. Nadia framed the screenshot. Hung it in our bathroom. For creative inspiration, she deadpanned. The invitation said no +1s. Talia's wedding. Open bar. Vera would be there. Single, according to mutual friends. Dax had gone backpacking in Peru. Red. Fled a small claims court over botched tattoos. Nadia looped her arm through mine at the reception. Remember, if she cries, we don't see it. If she tries to talk, we're deaf. If she spontaneously combusts from shame, we toast, I finished. Vera arrived in a dress the color of old bruises. Her wrist bore a fresh bandage where the infinity tattoo had been. She made eye contact exactly once, when Nadia leaned in to lick champagne off my jawline. Cole. Vera materialized at our table, clutching a martini like a lifeline. Up close, her eyeliner was smudged in a way that screamed, third bathroom cry of the night. You look happy, she said, gaze snagging on Nadia's left hand. The engagement ring caught the light. Nadia yawned. We are. It's disgusting. Vera's mouth twitched. I heard about your art show. The one at the gallery you got rejected from. Nadia nodded. Yeah, weird how that worked out. A beat. Vera's drink trembled. I'm glad for you, she lied. Cool, I said, and turned to Nadia. Want to ditch this and get tacos? We passed Vera's table on the way out. Her phone was open to Dax's Instagram, a new post from Peru. The geotag said New Jersey. Nadia dropped a wedding favor on her plate. A mini bottle of hot sauce with the label, Love is spicy. But not as spicy as this. Vera didn't look up. The flyer arrived in my mailbox. Vera C. Fragments of a vision at some pop-up space above a vape shop. Nadia pinned it to our fridge with a magnet that read, Modern art equals I could have done that plus yeah, but you didn't. We went. 12 canvases of black scribbles titled things like The Silence After Betrayal, Number 4. The guest book had 3 signatures. One read, Dax was better. As we left, Vera hissed from the shadows near the bathroom. This isn't over. Nadia called back without turning. It was over when he packed your candles. Talia's final text, linked to local news, the headline, Unlicensed tattoo artist busted for spiritual ink scam targeting teens. The photo showed Dax mid-perp walk, his Shrek Phoenix tattoo blurred. The article mentioned a victim who paid $500 for a soul bond tattoo that turned out to be a traced My Little Pony. Vera liked the post, then unliked it. Then reposted it to her Instagram stories with the caption, Karma is a mirror. Then deleted it. Unknown number, 1:17 a.m. I dream about you sometimes. You're always painting. Never looking at me. I blocked it. The next morning, Nadia slid a newspaper across the breakfast table, the real estate section. Circled, Vera's old loft for rent. The price slashed twice. Think she'll get her deposit back? Nadia asked, kicking her feet up on my lap. Outside, our dog barked at a passing car. The painting I'd made of Vera's The Void Between Us, now repurposed as a mudroom tray, caught the sunlight. Doubt it, I said, and went back to my coffee. The coffee was good. The morning was quiet. The past stayed where it belonged. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.